The British Prime Minister will face a crucial vote in the House of Commons on Thursday. The lawmakers will decide whether Boris Johnson should be referred for an investigation over his Partygate statements to parliamentarians. This vote is expected to coincide with the Prime Minister's two-day India visit. He's scheduled for events in the western state of Gujarat, followed by a diplomatic visit to New Delhi. The Commons Speaker, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, has now granted a request from the opposition MPs for a vote. The House debated on whether Johnson misled Parliament when he initially said that no rules were broken, as allegations of lockdown-breaching parties quickly escalated into a full-blown Partygate scandal. Last night, Boris Johnson offered an unreserved apology to Parliament and said that he had already changed the way that Number 10 operates. But the opposition leader, Keir Starmer, called Prime Minister's apology a joke and quickly cornered him on misleading claims about not breaking any rules.
Let me begin in all humility by saying that on the 12th of April, I received a fixed penalty notice relating to an event in Downing Street on the 19th of June 2020. I paid the fine immediately and I offered the British people a full apology. And I take this opportunity on the first available sitting day to repeat my wholehearted apology to the House.
What a joke. Even now, as the latest mealy-mouthed apology stumbles out of one side of his mouth, a new set of deflections and distortions pour from the other. If the Prime Minister had any respect for John and the millions like him who sacrificed everything to follow the rules, he'd resign. But he won't. Because he doesn't respect John. No. He doesn't respect the sacrifice of the British public. No. He is a man without shame.
The exact wording of the motion is yet to be tabled, but it will ask the MPs to decide whether to refer Johnson to the Committee of Privileges under parliamentary rules. The UK government ministers are expected to resign for knowingly misleading Parliament and correct the record as soon as possible. Last week, Boris Johnson became the first British Prime Minister to be sanctioned for breaking the law. Along with his wife and the British Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, all three immediately paid up their fines and apologised in the wake of the notices. The Conservative Party has stood by the Prime Minister and the Chancellor, while only a handful of them have voiced criticism. Therefore, the upcoming parliamentary vote is expected to go in Johnson's favour, but it will mark yet another dent to his leadership ahead of the local council and mayoral elections scheduled for May the 5th. In talking about the India visit, the Prime Minister will begin his trip with investment announcements in key industries in both the UK and India. He will then proceed to New Delhi to meet with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday. The meeting will focus on the India-UK strategic defence and diplomatic and as well as the economic partnership, of course. And for more insights, we are now being joined by senior journalist Alex Error from London. Alex, thanks so much for joining us. My first question to you. The British Prime Minister will face a crucial vote in the House of Commons on Thursday, and this vote is expected to coincide with the Prime Minister's two-day visit to India, a crucial one. What do you make of the timing of this visit, especially with the Partygate scandal heating up at home?
Well, to say the truth, I think it's actually quite good timing for Boris Johnson, because it gives him a chance to kind of ride out the scandal and wait for the news cycle to move on. You know, he's not going to be at home under so much scrutiny. He's going to be on the road. And then there's always a chance that just with that bit of time, something else might happen to draw the attention away from his parties and other scandals. And also it gives him an opportunity to act as a serious statesman, you know, meeting with Prime Minister Modi. And I think that can only help with his public image, or at least the one that he wants to project.
Right. Now, Alex, we saw the apology earlier tendered by Boris Johnson. Calls for his resignation are growing as we speak. Do you think the Johnson government and Johnson himself will survive the political storm?
Well, to say the truth, I think he probably will, because first of all, Boris Johnson has a long history of surviving political scandals in a way that other politicians don't. And also I don't see the Conservative Party being able to remove him as their leader because there is no alternative, really. No one in the Conservative Party that is a really standout candidate. You had Rishi Sunak, but he recently went through his own scandal, which has really dented his public standing. And Liz Truss is the other big name, but she's not particularly popular with voters or with the Conservative Party. So I would predict that he'll survive this one.
Right. Alex, thanks so much for all those inputs and thanks for joining us on WION World is One.
No problem. Thank you.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.